Becoming a better version of yourself is simply the removal of the shit that you've put on you that has disconnected you from believing that you're already fucking magical and divine. You know, we are already our higher selves. It's just a matter of releasing that fear and releasing the doubt and releasing anything that does not serve you connecting to your higher self. Okay. Me starting a video with okay. Hey guys, what is up? It's your girl Jasmine Kylene. I'm a spiritual counselor and conscious media journalist, and I make videos where I talk about things. So I've been coming live at you guys with a lot of astrology videos recently, but I wanted to make sure that I didn't end the year without making something that was kind of sit down, me to the camera, talking about something not necessarily astrologically related, but also a little bit because the cosmos are everything. But I thought, what a beautiful way to end the year 2020, or depending on when this is uploaded, aka when I edit it, a good way to start the year 2021, honing in on the different ways in which you can spiritually level up in this new year and in this new version of yourself, honestly, with this great conjunction, me saying I'm not going to talk about astrology and then immediately talking about astrology. On the other side of this great conjunction portal that we've walked through lies a new version of ourself, a new era of self, and really just, if we show up to it, commitment to being the best possible versions of ourselves and the most authentic expressions of our true passions and desires and purpose. So obviously you can tell that I just watched the movie Soul, and I'm feeling really inspired to kind of like motivate everybody and gift some guidance on how you can really show up and be the best possible version of yourself in this new year. So without further ado, here is me starting to talk. So the very first thing that I would really encourage you to do in this new year is to communicate as much as you possibly can with the universe. In short, there is no separation between you and the universe, you and God. It is all one organism. We are all connected. We are all one thing. So whenever we want to manifest and call things into our lives, it's important that we voice those things, because everything is energy, everything is vibration. When you say out loud what it is that you are calling in, or even just communicate with your environment and with the things that you choose to see magic in, it's going to reflect that and it's going to respond. So, you know, speaking to animals, speaking to trees, speaking out loud, speaking on your knees when you're praying, and speaking when you are journaling, and just above all else, verbally affirming what it is that you want for yourself and communicating regularly with whatever divine source it is that you resonate with. It's going to be a beautiful way to keep you in alignment and also just keep you magnetic, right? Because when you are actively communicating and connected and plugged into everything that is, your vibration is going to resonate tremendously and you're going to be able to receive everything that it is that you're calling in. So there's a piece of hair that's on my hand that's very much bothering me. So being intentional with communicating with the universe, talking to your plants, talking to the trees, talking to the ocean, speaking out loud and affirming what it is that you want for yourself and committing to those things is going to be a beautiful way to really keep you in a space of alignment in this new year. And also on that note, committing to whatever your spiritual practice looks like is going to be a beautiful way to level up spiritually in this new year. So if you want to meditate every day, if you want to journal every other day, if you want to make sure that you are going on walks with no distraction and just presence and connection to nature, whatever is part of your spiritual routine, really show up for yourself and really commit to that and make sure that you prioritize it just as much as you would anything else. So if you prioritize eating 3 meals a day, if you prioritize getting a certain amount of work done, make sure that you are also prioritizing having your spiritual practice be a part of your everyday experience. Everything is habit and everything is cyclical. So just like you are able to break bad habits simply by committing to stopping them for a certain amount of time and then eventually becomes muscle memory, the same thing is for when you are trying to start a new habit or when you're trying to commit to a new habit. So if you want on January 1st to be like, this is the first day that for the rest of these 365 days, I'm going to at least meditate for 30 seconds or read a page or of, you know, some sort of spiritual book that I'm learning from, or take another workshop, whatever it is that you want to commit to, just make sure that you honor that. The third thing I would say is to get clear on everything that you've learned in 2020. I mean, this year in itself was a lesson, but when we look at what happened astrologically, there were so many retrogrades, and retrogrades are always periods that call for reflection, they call for re-editing, reviewing. And so within those retrograde periods, we learn a lot about ourselves, what we want, and what our authenticity really is and how we can embody that authenticity. So going into this new year, really take ownership of just getting clear on all of the things that you learned in those retrograde periods and everything that you learned in 2020 and how you want to apply those lessons to this new version of yourself. If you learned that you actually are valuing your worth from external sources, how are you going to commit to validating yourself in this new year? If you learn that you actually are more passionate about this hobby than you thought you were, maybe you do want to make it something that can serve as your career every single day, how are you going to commit to that? There's so many different ways in which we've learned about ourselves, about what resonates with us, about what doesn't, and applying those lessons to honor this new version of yourself that you are stepping into is going to be a beautiful way to level up spiritually. And also, I just want to say on that note, I feel like I always talk about like becoming this best version of yourself and becoming your higher self. But truthfully, I want to immediately clarify that becoming a better version of yourself is simply the removal of the shit that you've put on you that has disconnected you from believing that you're already fucking magical and divine. You know, we are already our higher selves. It's just a matter of releasing that fear and releasing the doubt and releasing anything that does not serve you connecting to your higher self. So this version of yourself that you're trying to become, it's already you. It's already who you are, and it's already the you that's playing out in a higher timeline. So if you want some information on how to like physically jump timelines, I have a video on that. But just like on that note, when you recognize that there already is a timeline in which you aren't subscribing to any of your fears and any of your anxieties, and really just taking those leaps of faith and trusting that you'll always fall on padded ground, you can connect with that by just releasing what doesn't resonate with it, and knowing that, you know, you don't have to learn or level up to become this version of yourself, but rather that it already is you. It's just you recognizing what you are perpetuating to hold that back. That was a tangent. I'm feeling very tangenty today, so forgive it me. So with that being said, and this goes right hand in hand with everything I've literally just said, release old habits, release the ways and routines and cycles that served the version of you that you no longer resonate, that you've laid to rest, that you have grown out of. Whether that's, you know, not honoring a healthy sleep schedule or not being intentional with the foods that you put in your body, you know, release those old habits, get clear on what those old habits are, and then lay them to rest, and know that if you do want to spiritually evolve, and if you do want to really embody this version of yourself that already exists within you, that is just screaming to get out, you're going to have to lay those old habits to rest. It's kind of just time. And of course, commit to your mental and physical health. So this looks like something different for obviously everybody. I think there's not a single human being on this planet that wouldn't benefit from therapy, but if that's in any way, shape, or form not within your accessibility, I'm a spiritual counselor and my prices are very reasonable. So if you ever want to reach out to me, I'm more than happy to take you. But if therapy or, you know, any sort of form of psychotherapy or seeing a psychiatrist, if that's within your accessibility and it's something that you know you need, which, like, newsflash, you probably do, making that a part of your 2021 is going to be a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful way to really bring yourself into a place of self-awareness and thus evolution. If it's not within your accessibility, then just making sure that you're prioritizing your mental health in whichever way makes sense for you. So if that does look like journaling, if that does look like group workshops where you have a community where you can speak on what you're feeling and be vulnerable, if it looks like eating healthier, and if it looks like staying hydrated, maintain that commitment. And the same thing with your physical health, you know, a healthy body is what a healthy body is to you. There is no specific goal weight that you should be striving for, but there is a feeling that you should be striving for. You should feel energized and you should feel healthy. You should feel like your skin is nourished. You should feel like the temple that your body is sacred and well taken care of. So you want to make sure that you're at least incorporating movement into as much of your day as possible, and that you are dancing and just moving your body and nourishing your body in whichever way feels right. So incorporating Pilates or yoga or just walking in nature, or even more like intense training into your routine and into your schedule is going to be a beautiful way to honor your body and to step into, honestly, your divine god or goddess embodiment, you know? Seeing your body as a temple is the best way to connect to your ancestral divine lineage. And making sure that you are honoring your body externally, you know, making sure that you are dressing your body up in whichever way you see fit. You know, I don't think that means wearing a face full of makeup or wearing like a fly fit every single day, because I don't even have the energy for that, but making sure that you are showing up in every single environment that you are able to show up in as your most confident and fully encompassed self. So making sure that if that does look like wearing certain jewelry or having your hair a certain way or having certain colors on your body or having makeup, if that's what that looks like for you, make sure that you're honoring that and committing to that and always showing up as that. And if that looks like I feel sexy in sweatpants and a bun, that's perfect. That's exactly how you should be showing up, but making sure that you're showing up in that energy and that I am that bitch energy. Because when you radiate that, when you speak that sentence simply with your vibe, everyone's gonna hear it. Everything is energy exchange. You don't have to say the words, you simply have to show up and wear the words, and people will very clearly see it. So just make sure that you're always embodying the version of yourself that you feel the most confident in and showing up with that energy. Also, color healing. You know, I'm working on self-love right now, so I have my color healing love tea, which if you want to purchase this, you can in the bio, but really just being intentional with the colors that you put on your body, with the words that you put on your body. And you know, while we're talking about energy, even the music that you're listening to and the words that you read and the people that you follow on social media, they play a large role in your energy and your physical and mental health. So you want to make sure that you're being intentional with that as well. And once again, bringing into astrology, with the North and South nodes being in Sagittarius and Gemini, what is a really prevalent theme right now is unsubscribing to the patriarchy. So I know we just kind of jumped into a different kind of realm, but what's important for me to share in this little tidbit is that there's a lot of unlearning that's going on. We are unlearning what it means to be productive, we are unlearning what it means to be successful, and we are redefining those things in our own personal soul's terms. So what I mean by that is that learn how to unsubscribe from any capitalistic ways of thinking that don't actually resonate with your true self, and choose to commit to your new truths. Choose to commit to what having purpose means for you, to what happiness means for you, to what actually supporting your local community means to you. Whatever beliefs it is that you want to honor, whatever justice looks like for you, whatever belief system that maybe challenges the one that has been imposed on you, really commit to that this year, because it's divinely and astrologically supported, and also is going to connect you to your highest self, spiritually level you up, and put you in a space where you're going to attract abundance, because you are no longer resonating with lower vibrational beliefs and ways of thinking that are rooted in greed and gain. So these are the last two. What I would say is a beautiful thing to commit to this year is spending more time exploring. We have been in a state of overstimulation. I think this entire year we've been really tied to social media, and we're all sort of in a space of like technological hangover. And so I think going into this new year, what's going to be the best way to really step up in your spiritual evolution and just embody this version of yourself is to spend more time exploring what is physical, what is human, and less time of what is online. Now, you're watching this video online. I think social media is a beautiful, beautiful tool for us to teach each other and connect with each other and cry and hug and laugh with each other online, digitally. And we should use it as that resource and as that tool. But we don't want to be addicted to it. We don't want to be a slave to it. We don't want to always have to rely on it. So what I would really encourage you to do is spend as much time as you can in the physical, in your root chakra energy. So really spending time, or as much time as, you know, COVID allows. Spend time with friends, spend time with family, spend time in nature, spend time outside, spend time making adventures out of everything. If you're going to the grocery store, make that the most fun, exciting trip you've ever been on. Really make sure that you are honoring what adventure and what physical experience looks like for you. And lastly, make sure that you are always coming back to the divine truth. And the divine truth is that if you are doing your best is good enough. You are deserving, you are worthy, you are powerful, you are the embodiment of the cosmos, you are made up of stardust, and you are worthy of what it is that you desire. You are valuable, you are everything and more, you are magic. And when you really hone in on that truth, nothing externally can challenge that. So challenge subscribing to duality, challenge seeing things as good and bad, and simply allowing them to just be, allowing everything to be a lesson, allowing everything to transform you and move through you. And make sure that your inner dialogue matches that. Make sure that you're being kind to yourself, that you're affirming the things that you want for yourself, because if you have a poor inner dialogue, you're essentially affirming the complete opposite. So really committing to always coming back to that truth and living accordingly to that truth is going to be really imperative for this new year. And so yeah, those were basically the lessons that came to mind when I thought about, you know, how can I really commit to being the most spiritually evolved self. And what I maybe would also add to that is just to make sure that you are spending as much time doing what you love and not trying to squeeze productivity and financial gain out of it, because abundance will find you. You are deserving of money, but it's going to find you when it isn't what is leading you. When you make sure that you are pouring your energy into something that you simply love and lights you up, people are going to resonate, people are going to see that authenticity, and people are going to show up for you. So make sure that you spend as much time fearlessly doing what it is that you love, showing up for yourself in that way, moving away from chasing your dreams and simply starting to just live them, knowing that they're already yours. You know, your dreams manifest quite quickly in the physical realm when you no longer think that they're impossible, or that they're dreams, or that they're concepts. You know, they're real when you commit to them and when you show up to them. So yeah. Oh, and it's 444. So on that note, know that you are divine and that your higher self is waiting for you to show up for them, simply by letting go of any egoic and shadow beliefs that challenge this notion that you are deserving of whatever it is that you want. And yeah, I feel really, really positively about 2021. I think it's going to continue to be a really transformative year, which, like I said, I'm not subscribing to duality. It's not a good or bad thing. It simply just is something that's going to push us and propel us forward, and that's the only direction that we want to go. So make sure that this year you are following all of the things I said in this video. You are staying as present as you possibly can. You are really committing to what your soul desires and not what your mind thinks you want, and really just believing in yourself and acting accordingly. So I love you guys. Happy New Year. Feel free to subscribe or visit me at lalilaluna.tv or follow me on Instagram for more of these things. And otherwise, I will see you in the new year. A lot of exciting stuff is coming. So yeah, that's all. Bye.